Why are people choosing Elk Grove over Sacramento? If you are moving to Sacramento, California, the Sacramento area, you've definitely heard of Elk Grove. In this video, we're going to examine why people are choosing to move to Elk Grove over Sacramento. Is it the schools? Is it the congestion? Is it the proximity to the Bay Area? We're going to examine that in this video. We're going to also show you drone footage of the new Sky River Casino expansion, the new hospital, and all the new home building, guys. Elk Grove is coming to its own, becoming one of the most competitive and popular markets in all the Sacramento area. Let's get into the video right now. First, let's talk about where Elk Grove is located. It is the southernmost tip of the Sacramento metro area. Now, for a long time, Elk Grove was considered just a suburb of Sacramento, but nowadays Elk Grove is one of the most competitive and most in-demand cities in all the Sacramento area. You can access it through the 99, through the 5, Bradshaw, Grant Line. There's so many ways to get to Elk Grove, and they have 3 main zip codes: 95757, 95758, and 95624. Fantastic, like I said, locations. Each one has their own benefits, pros and cons, but in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about Elk Grove and the things that you definitely need to know about if you're thinking about moving in. All right, let's jump into the number one thing. Okay, some of the main reasons why a lot of people are choosing Elk Grove over Sacramento. Number one is Elk Grove has a ton of new home options. Taylor Morrison, Woodside, Beazer, Tim Lewis, you name it, and there's someone building there too. A lot of people like the new homes, and Elk Grove has a lot of them. Sacramento proper, not so much. There's only a few select builders in Sacramento proper. So if you're looking for a brand new home, Elk Grove is one of those spots you go to. Number two is it's the southernmost tip of the Sacramento metro area, so it makes going to the Bay Area once a week not as difficult as if you lived in Sacramento proper. People absolutely love that. Number three, congestion. A lot of people complain that Sacramento proper near downtown is congested, so a lot of people love Elk Grove because it has more of that suburban feel. And number four is schools. A lot of people love the Elk Grove Unified School District. They just love those schools. I'd go to greatschools.org. Like I said, schools are very subjective, but a lot of people we move into Elk Grove specifically choose Elk Grove because of the schools. And like I said, schools are very subjective, so I definitely check it out. Now, some of the things that people do love about Elk Grove and Sacramento as well too is they're both on SMUD. So you don't have to deal with PG&E for electric. Elk Grove is in Sacramento County, so that's another big benefit as well too, especially if you get a new home. Not only do you get the solar energy efficiency, but you're also on SMUD. So that's a huge pro as well too. Now, as far as the difference between the 3 main zip codes, the 95757, 758, and 624, 624 is going to be where you go and get a little bit more piece of land. It's probably going to be the cheapest for single family homes. It's a little bit older of a vibe over there too, but if you're looking for something like Sheldon Estates and you want something with a large piece of land, something pretty amazing, 624 is pretty good. Like I said, 2 things to keep in mind when you're out there though is home insurance and internet. But like I said, there are definitely additional options that you can definitely make that work for you. Now, the 758, the Laguna area has got some man-made lakes. It's absolutely beautiful. If you're looking for something that isn't typical tract cookie cutter, the 758 is one of those spots that you definitely go to. Really nice. And now the monster, the big one, the 95757. You're going to find the highest Mellorews. This is where you're going to find 90% of all the new home builders. This is where the zoo is going as well too. This is where the Sky Casino is as well too. This is where all the action, or a lot of the development in Elk Grove is happening. The 757 is one of the most in-demand zip codes in all the Sacramento area, if not the most in-demand. It gives you all schools, access, everything. Like I said, we're going to go into all that stuff right now. Okay, so let's talk about jobs and let's talk about Elk Grove. Right now, the top employers: Apple, 5,000 jobs; Elk Grove Unified School District, about 4,000 jobs. You got Kaiser with maybe about 500, but the job market in Elk Grove isn't fabulous. A lot of people will do the commute to downtown Sacramento. They'll live in Elk Grove, but they'll work in other spots of the Sacramento metro. A lot of people also will do the drive to the Bay Area maybe once or twice a week. The beautiful part right now, though, for those who are commuting to the Bay Area is there will be a train station in the Laguna area that will be a connector to the Bay Area, which is fantastic for a lot of people who maybe make the drive and would rather jump on a train with Wi-Fi and, way better experience, right? Now, one of the things that you're going to notice though in the future of Elk Grove is there's a lot of projects coming into the Elk Grove area that should bring jobs. Number one, the Sky River Casino has another big expansion slated to happen. They're making a lot of money over there, so they're going to expand the casino additionally out there. All right, the other thing too is the Sacramento Zoo that's moving to Elk Grove. So now I guess it's called Elk Grove Zoo. That's another one that's going to be bringing a lot of jobs and everything too. Now, where are those things located, right? Well, the Sky River Casino and the Elk Grove Zoo are by kind of where all the new homes are being built, by like Taylor, by Beezer, and by KB out there as well too. So that's where it's going to be kind of located. Is there going to be additional congestion, maybe additional traffic? Yeah, the 757 is definitely going to have that, and that's a zip code where the zoo and also what's called the Sky River Casino and the expansion are going to be located. Now, something really exciting for a lot of people who are in the medical field is that in Elk Grove right now, we're going to have the new Dignity Hospital that's being built right now too. We're talking a 200,000 square foot building with 100 beds. This thing is going to be an epic game changer for a lot of people in the medical field. A lot of people are moving into the new homes in the 757, and they're going to start working at this new Dignity Hospital. It is going to be a game changer for the Elk Grove area. The other things that are happening as well too is Sutter Health plans to do a $70 million expansion. So they're going to add some more square footage, some more beds, and they're going to employ additional people as well too. Now, the other one, another big medical that's doing it also, is UC Davis Health expansion of 20 acres out there as well too. So what you're noticing right now in the Sacramento area in general, healthcare is big business. In Elk Grove right now, because they have the land, like I said, they're putting in that new Dignity Hospital, and they're going to expand the campuses they have there currently for Sutter and UC Davis. So that's going to be additional jobs happening to Elk Grove. And like I said, guys, and that doesn't include the Sky River Casino, the zoo, and everything else that they have slated for Elk Grove. So in 5 years, what you could find is a lot of people not commuting to San Francisco, a lot of people not commuting to Sacramento proper. Elk Grove could be its own ecosystem for jobs, and we're always looking forward for that. So you might ask, well, if everyone's commuting to Sacramento proper for jobs, like why wouldn't they just move to Sacramento proper? Well, one of the things that's really nice about the Elk Grove area specifically is that they knew that the growth would be absolutely crazy in Elk Grove eventually. So they built out a nice freeway system in Elk Grove. They're also doing that connector project that's connecting the 5, the 99, and the 50 as well too. So it's a little bit less congested over there too, and the planning for Elk Grove is a lot more kind of like expansive, I guess you could say, than Sacramento. As we see right now in the Sacramento area, especially downtown, the 50 is brutal, and there is just so much building and so much road work, it's just out of control. Where Elk Grove was kind of built and created, and the infrastructure was built around a city that they knew eventually would get there. So a lot of people like that. You're not going to see a lot of the congestion currently that you see in Sacramento proper, and that's a big one for a lot of people moving into the area. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about housing. In all the zip codes in the Elk Grove area, they're competitive, but the 757 is the most competitive. If you're trying to get into Elk Grove, I'd say like a nice starting price is probably about $650. You can go lower, but for the most part, what I find is $650 is a price point that can make something happen in Elk Grove. Now, like I said, you're going to have to deal, a lot of people like the new homes, so you'll have to deal with like Melrose, which is a taxable bond, which adds roughly around maybe $350 to $400 every single month to your house payment, which is not great, but it's something to be aware of, especially if you're moving into the 757. But that's kind of what I'd look at. As far as Sacramento proper in comparison to that, there are some areas in Sacramento proper that are a lot more affordable, but then there's areas like Land Park in East Sacramento where the median price is somewhere in the $680s, $690s, $700s, and sometimes it can go all the way up to like $3 or $4 million. So it's depends on where you want to move into Sacramento proper if you're comparing it to Elk Grove. But Elk Grove, normally, no matter where you're looking in Elk Grove, you know, unless it's like the Sheldon Estates with the luxury $1 million homes, you're probably looking at a good $650 is a good price that you can jump into Elk Grove, whether it's a new home or a resale home. And not to mention all the new homes that they're building out there, Beezer, Taylor, KB, Woodside, every single builder is out there too. One of the things that people absolutely love is that there's not a lot of competition. You just jump in, you grab your home, and it's pretty much ready to go, or it's pretty much going to be ready to go for you the way you want it. It's a brand new home. And not to mention a lot of the builders out there are offering incentives, which if you look at Sacramento proper, you're going to be jumping into whatever the current interest rate is at a resale home, as opposed to going to Elk Grove, maybe buying something at the same price, maybe less, maybe more, but it's going to be a brand new home. And you're going to get some incentives with the builders. The only negative, like I said, is probably the Melrose. But like I said, people love the new homes. And I'd say I would say at least 70% of the purchasing in Elk Grove is new homes straight up. Like I said, people love those new homes, and that's where that's one of the main hubs in the Sacramento that you'll find a lot of options, a lot of floor plans, and definitely a lot of builders. By the way, guys, if you're thinking about relocating the area, or you have some questions about the Sacramento area in general, here's our number. Reach out to our team. We're one of the top relocation teams in all the Sacramento area, and we're here to answer your questions and make your move to Sacramento a lot easier. Okay, back to the video. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about renting versus buying. Okay, as we all know, everyone prefers to buy, but let's be honest, these interest rates aren't easy for anyone. And at the same time, if you're looking at a monthly of, like maybe like the rentals versus the mortgage, which one makes the most sense? Of course, it matters, like down payment, all that kind of fun stuff. For the most part, renting is definitely more affordable in this current market we're in 2025. Now, for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for rental in Elk Grove, you're gonna be paying somewhere between $2,700 and maybe $3,300 per month. Now, it all depends on square footage. It all depends on zip codes and everything too. And there's a little bit of a variance. I'd say 624, probably the most affordable for like a nice single family home. Then probably 758 and then 757. That's just kind of what it probably factors out to be. A lot of investors are buying also new homes like the KB homes and they're renting it out directly. The rental market is super competitive though in Elk Grove, especially in the 757. Now, a big thing that I will tell you straight up is that know the schools, know the districts, know the boundaries. You're going to just assume, hey, Elk Grove Unified School District, we're good to go. But it's very, very specific. If you live in the 758 and you're aiming to buy in the 757, you're going to have to uproot the kids, maybe move them over to another elementary school, and that's kind of a no-no. So just be careful about that. Now, like I said, in this current market, if you ask me like, apples to apples and all that stuff too, I'd say like if you're coming into the area and you don't know Elk Grove at all, do your education part, do your research on it, figure out your school district, maybe rent until you feel out if this is the right spot for you. But always keep in mind that if you put kids in school and you're going to move them around, it's not a good thing. So try to do your research part, your education part as much as you can ahead of time. We're here for you if you have any questions about the different districts, boundaries, zones, and all that stuff. Schools are big, big deal here in the Sacramento area. In Elk Grove, like I said, a lot of people move to 757 because they want this school or the 758. It's a big thing here, and you definitely need to know the boundaries. But overall, of course, the preference is to buy. But I would say with current interest rates right now, renting is definitely more affordable. And if it gives you a little bit of an idea of like before you buy, you want to get used to the area, renting might be a good choice. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about commuting time, and this is going to be quick. If you're looking to go to downtown Sacramento from Elk Grove, it all depends on which zip code you're in. For I'd say pretty much between 25 and 30 minutes to get from Elk Grove to downtown Sacramento. If you're looking to get to the Bay Area, you're looking about an hour and 30 minutes. Now, traffic can be brutal though if you're leaving like at 9 or 5. There's also back roads like Bradshaw and whatnot, and there's some additional like, arteries that you can use, but everyone's kind of figured out these arteries, so they are a little bit of a cluster during rush hours. Now, the beautiful part about the Sacramento area and about Elk Grove specifically is that they are doing projects like the connector, and they are expanding the roadways to give us a little bit more breathing room on our traffic. Like I said, I don't think you're going to get too much congestion when you're in Elk Grove specifically, unless maybe you're at Costco. But for the most part, what you're going to notice is that if commuting to Sacramento, downtown, probably about 35 minutes, 30 minutes, and just make sure about when you commute. 9 o'clock is brutal, 5 o'clock is brutal, but that kind of goes for almost any city. Okay, so let's talk about shopping, lifestyle, restaurants, things to do in Elk Grove, because that's one of the main things about moving into an area if you have fun things to do. Now, first of all, I always get yelled at when I talk about Elk Grove and their shopping. Now, here's the thing. Elk Grove right now has a lot of big box stores, Best Buys, Targets, all that stuff too. The thing that Elk Grove lacks is one big upscale commercial mall that hopefully in the future they get, because they deserve it. There's a lot of people moving in, and I think there's a lot of demand. So I'd love to see them get the West Elms, the Restoration Hardware, Apple stores. That's all I'm saying. Don't yell at me, Elk Grovians. This is what I'm saying. I think that it would be nice to see additional shopping options in Elk Grove for people who live there. But like I said, there are big box stores. There is one big, huge Costco out there as well, too, that I absolutely love and I go to a lot. So you got your Costco's, you got your big box stores, and everything is kind of separated out as well, too. You got your places in Laguna, like 757, 758, and 624. You got a lot of the mom and pop out there as well, too. You got definitely a lot of options for shopping in Elk Grove. And not to mention, downtown Sacramento, if you want the boutique shoppings, or maybe you want to hit like West Elm, you got about 25 minutes away. So it's really, really not that bad for shopping. Just hopefully that we're going to see additional commercial come into Elk Grove, which I know we are because I've seen the plans. Additional shopping, guys, is coming your way in Elk Grove, and I'm super excited to see that. Now, as far as things to do, you got McDonough Estate Winery, a winery that I've been to actually twice, which I like. You got parks, you got the Laguna man-made lakes, you got like preserves, you got everything in Elk Grove. Honestly, it's very, very suburban feel too. So you have a lot of those kind of cookie cutter, but really nice parks for the kids. You can play soccer. You know, it's definitely one of those things that a lot of people stop into Costco and buy the, you know, the chairs and all that stuff for soccer. It's very family friendly. It's very suburban. It just feels like that type of place. Like I kid you not, during the summertime, there's sports going on almost every single field in the Elk Grove area. It's pretty amazing. If you're looking for like that suburban feel, if you're looking for family friendly, if you're looking for that spot where you can go for a walk, explore nature trails and all that stuff, Elk Grove is definitely that spot for that. Now for eating, you've got Boulevard Bistro, you got McCooney's, you got Old Town Pizza and Ale House. You got some really good options of food out there too. Now, I will say one thing about Elk Grove is I think the diversity of food in Elk Grove, maybe second to downtown Sacramento, but the different options that you have in Elk Grove just absolutely blows me away. Really some good choices. And I absolutely think the food scene in Elk Grove is something you definitely need to check out if you're there. And like I said, great spots. McCooney's they have all over the place, but I would say go to a spot like maybe Pig Latin, really nice spot to check out, something specific to Elk Grove. But like I said, I really love the Elk Grove food scene, food truck stuff as well too. There's almost everything food wise in Elk Grove. So if you're moving to an area, here's the thing, you also want to know about future projects that are coming to Elk Grove. So let's run you through some of the projects, some of the things that are going to benefit you as someone who's moving into Elk Grove for the future growth and development of Elk Grove. And there's some really good ones. Number one is a new public library. This new public library is set to open in 2025. It's at the corner of Elk Grove Boulevard and Waterman Road. 18,000 square foot facility. It's going to be pretty amazing. Then, like I said before, the Sacramento Zoo relocation. Guys, they're going to turn that into a tourist attraction over there too. Is it going to be congestion? Probably. Might you smell an elephant or two? Possibly, but it's going to be a huge economic pop to Elk Grove too. And it's just something to look forward to. I think it's going to be interesting to see how that zoo is going to develop. If anything, Sacramento is known and Elk Grove is the same way about building stuff new, amazing state of the art. So I can't wait to see what the zoo looks like. For all you people that want more things to do in Elk Grove, there is Project Elevate. Located on the corner of Bighorn Boulevard and Elk Grove Boulevard, we're looking at a mixed-use space. There's going to be more restaurants, there's going to be more dining, there's going to be more commercial, but this spot is supposed to be somewhat kind of like a midtown vibe to it. It's supposed to be very walkable, very fun. So if you're people out there in Elk Grove and you're saying to yourself, we want more things to do, we want things that maybe are open after 8 o'clock in Elk Grove, this Project Elevate should be really nice for you guys. Creating kind of like a walkable, kind of like a nice vibrant scene where there's gonna be additional restaurant options, nice boutique shopping, and really cool. I think personally this is the one I'm most excited about because I think Elk Grove, like I said, I would love to see some more boutique mom and pop stores, but something that's very nice and high end. So what I've been hearing about Project Elevate is that's what it's going to do. Like I said, there's going to be some commercial in there. There's going to be a nice hotel in there as well too. It's going to be very walkable, new restaurants and an upscale vibe. And I think if I was in Elk Grove and I was looking around, I was saying to myself, I want to go out for a date night. I want to do something like this. I think this spot, Project Elevate, is going to give you that option as well too. Like I said, guys, yet another thing happening to Elk Grove. And as mentioned before, another huge project is the new Amtrak station built in the 758. Now, for a lot of people commuting to the Bay Area, this is huge. But the other thing too is, and this is something that a lot of people don't factor in, is if you're going to go to the Bay Area maybe for the weekend, now you have an extra way to kind of get there. You don't have to drive there. You can hop on the train. If you're thinking about, hey, you know what? I want to go to San Francisco for the weekend. There you go. You hop on the train. You don't have to deal with any traffic, Wi-Fi, a really nice train. And for a lot of people who live in Elk Grove, one, people who are doing the commute to the Bay Area or maybe like somewhere like once a week, it's a pain because traffic is getting even worse in the Sacramento area, and Elk Grove is no different. But also the idea for people who are like, you know, want to go to the Bay Area one day a week, maybe have family there, maybe just want to go and see the Giants. Now you actually have a connector, so you don't have to drive there. You go right to the Amtrak station, you hop on a train, and boom, you're in the Bay Area. That's pretty cool. Last but not least is the Sungrove Park. Guys, there are so many parks slated to be built in Elk Grove, thanks to your Melrose. But there are parks that are just insane. They're huge. They have like play areas. They have places where you can barbecue. You can throw birthday parties. You can play soccer. They're really state-of-the-art kind of parks as well too. Elk Grove, honestly, and the Sacramento area in general, they don't believe in building bad parks. So you're gonna see some of these parks that are just nuts. There are gonna be parks that you wish that were around when you were a kid. There's also so much stuff happening in Elk Grove with nature preserves, walking. It's just a really, really fun vibe. Now, the only thing you're not really going to get in Elk Grove is it's pretty flat. It's one of the complaints we do get about Elk Grove, that it's not as hilly as maybe an El Dorado or Folsom. But for the most part, you're not going to lack any nature. There's tons of nature all over the place in like Elk Grove. And like I said, these parks are awesome. You can bring the kids there, play soccer, water gun fights and everything too. Like I said, they're parks you wish you had when you were a kid. Last but not least, let's hit about these new homes that they're building in Elk Grove, California. Like Elk Grove, easily within the last 5 or 6 years till now, and what they have slated to build in the future, we're looking at around 30,000 new homes. Talking about communities, and yes, Elk Grove, one of the things that people don't like is Elk Grove has some of the most expensive Melloroos in the whole area. And I'd say at least 40% of the communities being built in Elk Grove probably have HOAs. New Home Company has an amazing community out there. Arbor, then you got Taylor Morrison, that's a staple out in Elk Grove as well too. They created Madera Ranch, now they got Madera Greens. They got everything. They're building community after community after community. They even have an active 55 and older community as well over there too. You got, who else you got? You got Beezer over there. You got Tim Lewis over there. You got Woodside. You got KB. You've got almost every single builder in the Sacramento area. So if it's you and you're saying to yourself, look, I love Elk Grove, I love the 757, you're probably going to be paying anywhere between $350 and $450 Melloroos, but you're still going to be able to get a brand new house. In Elk Grove specifically, a majority of the people that are moving in go for the new homes. Why? Incentives, buying down interest rates, money towards closing costs, and design credits. So depending on which builder, everyone has different incentives. Like I said, reach out to our team. We sell a lot of new homes in that area specifically, and we can give you a little bit of the Pepsi challenge between builders as well too. Who's better, Tim Lewis, New Home Company, or Taylor? We got all the answers, so reach out to our team about that. But new homes are big business out there, and they don't look like they're slowing down anytime soon. Like I said, Taylor's already looking for more land. I think Beezer's as well too. Richmond American also is out there as well too. And I even heard rumors that Toll Brothers might be building a community out there as well too. So there's big business, new homes are out there, and a lot of people from the Bay Area love the idea of coming to Elk Grove and buying a brand new home, next gen suites, a nice big lot. Elk Grove is the spot for that for sure. So who's right for Elk Grove and who's right for Sacramento proper? I'd say if you're looking for a brand new home, and maybe you're looking for an easier commute to the Bay Area, and you're looking for an area, city that is like just growing like crazy, appreciation, house prices and everything too, Elk Grove could be that spot. I would definitely say check out the schools, check out the comparison between Sacramento and Elk Grove. A lot of people, that's enough for them to sway to Elk Grove. But again, schools are very subjective. I'd say both areas are located on SMUD, so you have a cheaper cost for electricity as opposed to PG&E, which is double the price. I would say if you're looking for in Sacramento proper, you're looking for an older home, some areas are a lot cheaper than or more affordable than Elk Grove, but other areas in Sacramento are a little bit more older homes, like some areas like in East Sacramento Land Park, we're talking 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, really kind of setback character homes. So there's definitely a difference. And I think no matter where you decide, Elk Grove or Sacramento, you should probably take a tour of both. Now, as far as Elk Grove specifically, based on the zip codes, I would say the 757, again, most competitive market easily in all the Sacramento area, super, super in demand. 758, I think just because they're not building as many new homes there, it's a little bit lower in the demand level as far as zip codes. And I think the 624, because they only have a certain amount of single family homes there, and then they have homes that are a little bit more ranchy, a little bit more out there, large acres. It's probably in a different type of kind of like a competitive zone than like, like your Elk Grove 757 that has like new, modern, brand new homes, like kind of Stepford-ish. I think the 624 is going to give you that piece of land, that maybe that luxury home, or that spot that's going to give you that organic gardening, the veggies, maybe getting a horse, maybe getting some animals. That's kind of the 624, a lot of that part. Or you're looking at an older build single family home. So that's kind of the difference between those both spots. But I would say no matter what, do your research, get your education, and figure out exactly what zip code in Elk Grove that works for you. And also do a little bit of the Pepsi challenge and at least take the day to compare Sacramento to Elk Grove. In the long run, it's going to benefit you. Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you're moving to Sacramento, guys, Elk Grove should be a definite consideration. If you have any questions about this video, if you like this video, please smash that like button. And like I said, guys, we answer all questions and comments that come in through this video as well too. Now, guys, if you are thinking about relocating to the area, reach out to our team. There's a Zoom link below. We can answer any questions you have regarding the Sacramento area. We can create a strategy for you that you will win in this market. This market's not an easy one, but we've been having success with our clients. They've been loving Sacramento, and I'm sure we can help you guys out as well too. Now, if you live in the Sacramento area and you're thinking about selling your home, reach out to our team as well. We list and sell homes on YouTube, and we've been having so much success with it. We'll show you our marketing. We'll show you how we can get more eyeballs on your home than any other team in the area. One last thing, guys, before I go, there's a playlist right over there of other videos I did about the Sacramento area, help you get a little bit more education on the area, answer any questions you might have. Once again, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to smash that like button. See you in the next video.